Yes, karibuni sana. Nawakaribisha nyote wa viewers. Mnaona tuko na mgeni wetu Felix tayari yako kwa studio na tutaendelea vizuri. Leo tunaongea mambo ya siasa kidogo. We shall be discussing politics for some time. And today the question we are asking ourselves is, who has the highest chance of becoming the president of Kenya? But before we do that, we're gonna do the introduction. Then from there we shall proceed. As you know, my name is Geoffrey Boro, and I'm here in the United States of America, in the state of Missouri, St. Louis, Florissant City. And I'm pleased to have you in the studio today. Thank you so much, those who are joining. So Felix, I want you to introduce yourself and also tell, after introduction, you will tell the people where you are. You are going to tell us, you told me you are contesting, you are going to tell us the position which you are contesting and where, and talk about yourself for some time. Tell us more about yourself, and if you have a party, you tell us the party you are going to contest with. We are here to support you fully. We're gonna support you to see that you acquire your position. So Felix, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Yourself.
My name's Felix Wambua, as my host has just said, and I hail from Wamunyu. Wamunyu is in Machakos County.
Yes.
In Kenya, that is East Africa. Currently, I'm in Nairobi. That's where I'm based. That's where I have some business that I'm doing. Felix is the holder of bachelor's in urban and regional planning from Makerere University. And in 2017, I was 2 years old after graduation. I joined politics and it was my first time to contest. So I think I'm in the right show because since 2017 to date, I've been involved in matters affecting our governance and the policies that are being formulated for the better of our country and region at large. So thank you for inviting me in this program.
Thank you so much, Felix. So you said you come from Wamonyo ward. Is on the side of Ukambani.
Sure.
And Ukambani is known of being very dry. And
Ukambani, it's semi-arid. Let's not say very dry. Ukambani has some regions that are so green you cannot beat. Yeah, not the whole of Ukambani, but when Ukambani is mentioned, many people have that perception that it's a very dry region.
Wow. So which parts are not very dry, if I may ask? Because most people, we all think that the whole of Ukambani is very dry. And
yeah, we have some parts of Mwingi bordering Garissa that it's actually a semi-arid region. We also have some parts in Machakos, around Yatta, even along Athi River itself. It's dry. You understand the geography and science. Wherever there is a big body of water, there has to be some. The climate is not favorable for the people and animals, and let's say for life in that region. So Ukambani has also some green spots in Machakos Central itself. We have the Machakos Hills, Mua Hills, Makueni, we have Booni Hills, Kilungu. Those regions are very, very, very wet. and good for agriculture.
What about your area, the Wamunyu? Is it very dry, or how is it economically? How is it doing?
Wamunyu is also dry, but not as such, not too extreme. Yeah, its climate, it's also semi-arid, let me say, because you cannot say it's not dry or very dry. But even now, as we speak, we have some people that have been affected by hunger. We have drought, and drought affects both animals, people, and our economy. Generally, it's not good because we used to rely on agriculture, that is cash crops, maize, cassava, millet. Those are the crops that we relied on during hot times, but now things are changing. Yeah.
So, what are you planning to do with the dryness that is in your area? There was a time I visited Seikuru. I went all the way to Usweni, those sides of Machakos. I also visited Kitui, and I found that that time was around 2003, when Mwai Kibaki just became the president. And that time, people were having problem with even the drinking water. I remember I stayed for almost 1 week without taking water, because the water people were consuming was, I think, from River Sagana, and the water was very dirty. So for those 2 weeks, I survived with soda. I was buying Crest instead of taking water. So I don't know how is the situation right now in Wamunyu ward.
Wamunyu ward is not very different from what you have just explained. Water has been a great challenge since time immemorial, since independence, let me say. If we could have a lasting solution towards water, Wamunyu has the best land for agriculture, and could even contribute to the food basket of this country. Because right now, as we speak, we have some people practicing agriculture through, we have greenhouses, we have small farms where we have onions, tomatoes, and we are contributing to our markets here in Nairobi, Karioko, Muthurwa. We have farmers who are bringing some vegetables and horticulture for even export.
Yes.
Yeah, we are doing irrigation and it's working well. Though water is a serious challenge, and the only source of water we have is at the river, which has been immensely polluted by the industries along Kitengela at the river. And I'm running a campaign right now to ensure that we safeguard, we protect these water catchment areas, because once the water is polluted, the fish get sick, and that fish, which we do fish for our livelihoods, endangers our lives as people living along the river.
So what is your proposal? What should be done to solve that problem of the water pollution by the industries?
You know, when it comes to industrialization and developments, growth of a region, we must also be ready for the negative effects that comes with the growth. Pardon? Yes, yeah, we have so many industries, and I can't blame this on corruption. I can blame this on loose policies that have been formulated by the County Assembly of Machakos, and I can also blame it on the law enforcers, because once we have the policies, we need to have people who can enforce them. Sure, we have had people that some days back were on the news, were on our Citizen TV news here for having been directly discharging chemicals to the river. The river, which is a source of livelihood for thousands of Kamba people living along the river up to the Indian Ocean. You know, when pollution starts from Earth River, it goes up to the Indian Ocean, and that will lead that will lead to endangering lives of millions, because the ocean supports millions of people, especially when it comes to the blue economy.
Wow. So now, Felix, I want us to enter into our debate today. And our question today, we are asking ourselves, we have so many presidential candidates.
Sure.
And all of them, they are working very hard to ensure that they become the presidents of Kenya. We are going to be very open to try to discuss about it. We analyze all the candidates that we have. And Mr. Peter Wasike, your device is not connecting. Not that I can see you. I can see you here, but your internet connection is very poor. It's very hard for you to join the stream. So you can make your contribution on the comment side, and whatever you write, I'm gonna put it on the screen and everybody will see it. I was trying to use the radio conference number, but it's very hard to operate the two of them. So just bear with me for today, and I think next time I'll be in a position to organize the conference number to see how it will work. So Peter Wasike, you can make your contribution on the comment side on Mwegitio TV, and everybody will see your comment. Everybody will see also your photo on the screen. Just write down all your contribution. So we are entering, and we have entered now on our big question of today. We have so many people contesting to become presidents of Kenya. We have Mwangi wa Iria. I don't know whether Wasike you have ever heard of, Felix Wambua, you have ever heard of Mwangi wa Iria?
Sure, I know the gentleman. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's the governor of
Murang'a County.
Of Murang'a, and
Murang'a County.
we also have William Kabogo. William Kabogo.
Sure.
And
yes.
all these guys, they have money. We also have Jimmy Wajigi. He is also a billionaire, as I hear people talk about him. Kabogo also is a billionaire. I don't know much about the financial muscle of Mwangi wa Iria, but I also believe he is well up. We have Kalonzo Musyoka. We
Yes.
have Moses Wetangula. We have Musalia Mudavadi. We have Raila Odinga. And we also have William Ruto. All these are the leaders who are aspiring to become the president of Kenya. Maybe, if I may ask, according to you, you can give us your opinion on whom do you think is likely to become the president of Kenya. And it does not mean that if you talk about somebody, it has to be like that. So should you be offended by the person you prefer? It's an open discussion. So feel free to talk about your candidate, the candidate of your choice. And our viewers, on the comment side, I have put the link, and everybody is free to come on the screen so that we may have this debate. Everybody is free to make a contribution, so long as you keep it respectful, and we shall go very well. And yeah, so Felix, what do you think about the candidates that we have?
Okay, first and foremost, this is a big question, and yes. I'm glad that you chose to have, let me say, the least expected people to come up and also yes. shed light on this question. Most TV stations and most journalists are running for the governors, for the women reps, forgetting that people who also are vying for the least office in our constitution, that is the office of an MCA,
yes.
Also have a voice. They have something to add on to this. Sure. So I'm happy that today I will highlight my views about Mwangi wa Iria. I will also say something about Kabogo. I will talk about everyone and connect all this to the fallen BBI, to the next year's elections, and position ourselves as young people and as Christians, as we said, because we cannot also just be talking of 2022 without thinking of our culture, thinking of our spiritual well-being, thinking of our economy. So before we narrow down the topic to individuals, we have also to make it broad enough to ensure that these individuals are people that are going to suit or to provide the best solutions to the challenges that we have today.
Yes.
Bwana Jeff, let me tell you that we have so many candidates, but according to the experience that I have since when I started voting, I think by 2022, this will be a two-race horse. We always have so many candidates, but towards the election, we see the formation of coalitions. Most of these guys are raising up maybe to position their tribes, because in Kenyan politics, we cannot do away with ethnicity. Ethnicity plays a key role in our politics. So everyone is raising up to represent their tribe. Everyone is raising up to represent maybe a certain class of people, and through that, these people, at the end of the day, they have to have consensus and come up with two horses. This race is going to be narrowed down to two candidates, as we saw it in 2017.
Yes.
Yeah. So as we have Mwangi wa Iria, we have Kabogo. We also have Martha Karua. We have this gentleman, former CS Agriculture, Kiunjuri, Mwangi Kiunjuri. We have seen this. We have seen these guys coming together. The other day they had a meeting in Serena. The other day they had a meeting in Naivasha.
Yes.
All these are presidential candidates, but at the end of the day, we know they are going to agree and from the interests of their people to ensure that before they get into any coalition, their interests are well catered for. So I don't see it as big. It's going to be a repeat of 2017, though this time round candidates will be, we may have the one old candidate plus a new entrant into this arena.
Go ahead, I can hear you. I'm able to hear you. Proceed.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I'm saying by 2022, we will have a race of two serious candidates. I'm not saying that Mwangi wa Iria is not serious. I'm not saying that Wetangula is not serious or Mudavadi is not serious. But we know, as you mentioned earlier, as you were introducing this presidential candidate, you talked of Wanjigi, well-known gentleman in the Kenyan industry, Kenyan economy, Kenyan politics.
Before you proceed, what do you think Wanjigi is trying to do? Because he is campaigning vigorously, and he is saying Fagia Wote, and he is vying on ODM ticket. He is running against Baba, and you know how Baba is strong on in ODM. What do you think he is trying to do? And this one, I also I would like to introduce Peter Wasike Chapesa. Chapesa, thank you so much. Finally, after a serious struggle, you have managed to join the stream. So
thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, and my friend Wambua finally entered into the studio.
Yes,
and I'm happy.
Go ahead, tell us about yourself, who you are, and also you said you are contesting. Tell us where you are contesting, which position, and all that.
Yes, by the names, I'm Peter Wasike Chapesa, and I'm very happy, Jeff, to learn that you are my comrade and alumna of Makerere University.
Sure.
And as you know, at Makerere University, we use, our motto was, we build for the future.
Yes.
So I'm contesting for an MCA seat at Savannah Ward, a lower Savannah Ward, in Nairobi County.
Wow.
And I'm very happy that you could accord me this platform to
Yes.
share my vision and my aspirations to the people of Savannah, Lower Savannah Ward, and
Yes.
the people of Kenya. And I truly appreciate you, my comrade.
Wow. That's very good. What are some of the challenges that people are saving on are facing on Lower Savannah Ward?
You know, Mr. Jeff,
Yes.
you know, when you enter into politics, you enter to serve the interests of the people and also to bargain for the interests of the people.
Yes.
The saying goes, taxation without representation is tyranny. The population of Savannah Ward are around 100,000 people in population.
Yes.
And their major economic activities is business. And that's where they earn their living and also contribute to the national treasury in terms of their taxes. So some of the challenges people of Savannah Ward face.
Yes.
One, as I told you, majority of them make living through businesses.
Yes.
But if you go to Savannah Ward, you'll never see conducive environment for them to conduct their businesses. There are no good shelters for them to do their businesses. Infrastructure-wise, there is a serious problem. And also, there is a serious problem of water and also sanitation. Yes. So these are major problems. So apart from these, there are also few schools around within Lower Savannah Ward. So most of the pupils students normally go far away to get education.
Yes.
But there are no government schools within Lower Savannah Ward. So those are some of the challenges that face my people, which I wish to represent and serve them when I get power and their mandate.
We hope and we pray that you get into the position. And so even before we proceed, because our friend here, Honorable Felix Wabua Simon, is contesting to become an MCA. You said of which word?
So
Wamonyo. Felix is contesting to become an MCA of Wamonyo. You're also contesting to become an MCA of Savannah Ward, the Lower Savannah Ward. Maybe most Kenyans would like to know what are the laws of, this question goes to both of you. You must have contemplated about it from the time you decided, I'm going to vie for this position. I've been asking myself, what exactly are the laws of an MCA in Kenya? Maybe we can start with Felix, some of the roles of the MCA, some of the duties of the MCA, so that at least we, the commoners, we, the people who are not in the government, can have the understanding of the people who don't involve themselves so much with politics, can have an understanding what exactly are the roles of an MCA.
Thank you, Bwana Jeff.
Just mention
Karibu Bwana Wasike. I'm happy to learn that we are all alumni from Makerere University.
It's amazing indeed.
Yeah. To be precisely, I would say that, and I would let our viewers and the public to understand that an MCA does a representation role, an oversight role, and all these are well stipulated in our constitution. So most of the time, we need to always ensure that we provide civic education for our people to truly understand the roles of our leaders, especially the different elective offices that we have in the constitution. To add on to that, we need to also bring broader understanding of who a leader is. not just be limited by the constitution. You know, a constitution gives a few roles, but when you go deep down to Mwananchi, especially in the office of an MCA, you'll find that there is a huge gap between the Wanjikos and the government. We are the key contact people who are supposed to ensure that truly representation is felt at the grassroots.
Wow, that's great. Mr. Chapesa, before you make your contribution, I would like you to maybe tell us if there's some money that are allocated by the government for the MCA for development, because most of the time we as the Kenyans, we expect to see some development from the MCAs. And he said that one of the major role of an MCA is to play an oversight role. So do we have some money that is allocated for the MCA? Because people have the expectation that the MCA will have money to do this and that development. Maybe Mr. Chapesa, you can help us also on that area.
Jeff, my comrade, I define the politics as a social trade.
Yes.
Because in politics, we bargain for people's interests and we also serve people's interests. Yes. One, as an MCA, I'm elected to go and legislate, make laws that governs the county government of Nairobi.
Yes.
So first, I'll wish to propose laws that will lessen burdens to the taxpayers of Savannah Ward. As you know, there are business people. I will push for laws that that protect them from over-taxation, laws that guards businesses, best practices in business. That's the work I'll do as a legislature in the county government. Secondly, bargaining for their interests, here I mean, they pay taxes.
This is what I was asking. Huh? Does the government have some money, or the constitution, does the constitution allocate some money to the MCAs for development? We proceed.
As it stands now,
yes,
there's no, I don't think if there is any serious law that provides for that, but we have some provisions in the county government for ward development fund,
Okay.
But you know, it is still authoritatively distributed by the governor. If you are not in good terms with the governor, you cannot get. But if it if it were anchored into the constitution properly, you do not need to bend before the governor to get development in your ward. So at the moment, the law is still silent on that.
Wow. So I think that is something that if you people get elected, you need to fight to see that even the MCA have at least some good amount of money, because people down there, they also expect to see what is our MCA doing. Because the role of oversight is only done in the county assemblies. Outside the county assembly, if you don't have money, and you know our people always have the expectation, just as they have expectation, very high expectation with their members of parliament, not knowing that the development, a lot of money goes to the governor and to the national government. So the funds should be, you know, a good amount of money should go also to the MCAs to see that also you are able to do some of these small things down there that touches the lives of the people. We have a question here from this gentleman there. Felix, you can read for us that.
What is the role of MCAs in fighting misuse of corruption at county level, as most end up as conduits of squander?
Yeah, any one of us can answer that.
Okay, yes, let me respond.
Yes.
I kindly beg to respond to this question because as you know, what my brother has just highlighted, that most MCAs, when elected to the assemblies, can never perform not unless they become worshippers of the governors, or they take their governors as idols. This question, I think, relates to that. And as an MCA, just an oversight role is meant to ensure that public funds, anything meant to benefit Mwananchi, reaches the right beneficiary. So due to the lack of the development kitty for MCA, you find most of our times these MCAs have to bend low to corruption, have to sing and dance to the tunes of their masters, who are the governors, to ensure that at least their people see them doing something. Not unless they do that, you find that if they stick to the morals, to the ethics that we as per the constitution,
Yes.
They'll end up not being re-elected, because they will not win any development for their people.
Yes, yes. That's a good answer. And Mr. Chapesa, I have been asking myself about the 2010 Constitution. The Kenyans have been saying that it added burden to them. And they were making proposals that they want the burden to be reduced. Punguza mzigo. That is what Kenyans have been saying. And we have the county assemblies, so many county assemblies. Do you think we need all the county assemblies that we have in Kenya, or they should be reduced?
Jeff?
Yes.
The major problem affecting Kenya and Kenyans is corruption. People who are elected into positions of power and the people who are appointed into positions of leadership perpetuate corruption. So they are so profligate in terms of spending, making it very difficult to account for the expenditure. In fact, the major problem is profligate lifestyles of our leadership. For example, I want to give you an example. Man was borrowed for SGR. Yes. The initial plan and budget was 55 billion Kenya shillings.
Yes.
But leaders came, conspired, and made it very, very expensive, and borrowed extra money, making it almost 400 billion. The extra money that was borrowed, if you ask yourself, the use of the extra money ended up in their pockets. So it's this kind of profligacy, extravagancy, that makes it very, very difficult. Now, saying that increasing the representation in county assembly, or actually parliament, is a burden, not to me, that's not the issue. The issue is the money that is wasted, the money that goes to private pockets of people in the leadership. That is a major problem. For example, a country like Uganda is more represented. Okay, is more represented, but at least you get a sub county. A sub county is allocated money for development, and leaders like LOC1 or LOC3, LOC5 can account for that money because they are audited. But if you come to a ward level, who accounts for it? Who accounts for money spent? Are they audited? You find that they are not audited because even there's no money allocated to them. So the issue is over borrowing and spending spending on issues that are not even priority to the country.
Wow. So our viewers, we have Mr. Chapesa, who is running or vying for the MCA position at Lower Savannah Ward. And also he is a graduate from Makerere University. You can tell us, you said you did which course?
Political Science and Public Administration.
Wow, Political Science and Public Administration. We also have Felix. Mr. Felix Wambua is vying for the MCA position at Wamonyo Ward. And Felix, you said you are a professional in which field?
I'm a urban and regional planner. That is a bachelor's in urban and regional planning.
Wow, you fit to be in that position. It is good to have intellectuals taking over these positions because people who are educated, they are able to sit down and plan things. That's very important. So I want us to go back to our major question today. It's good also to discuss the national politics. And we are asking ourselves, who do you think is likely or has the highest chance of becoming the president of Kenya? Basing on the politics that are going down there. And Felix said that we have so many people. We have over 11 people right now who have shown the interest to become presidents of Kenya. But at the end of the day, we shall have one. And Felix lowered down and said right now, there are two horses. And I remember I had to cut you because Mr. Chapesa joined us. You can proceed and tell us about the horses and the donkeys or the cows and whatever. You can go ahead and tell us about these horses.
Interesting. As I said, as it has been in our history since, let me say, since 2013, our top leaders from different regions of this country have been posing as presidential candidates, but towards the final laps, you find them coming together, forming coalitions, and I don't see that changing soon. I can see coalitions coming up. I can see some leaders who are now up and down campaigning. Bwana Jeff, it's so sad that we are putting the country to a campaign mode when we have almost 10 months to election, when we have 10 months that the current leaders are supposed to be serving, are supposed to be delivering to Mwananchi who voted for them. And remember, their contract as per the constitution expires after 5 years. 5 years are supposed to be expiring, let's say, in 8 or 7 months to come. But now we see the political climate is rising. The temperatures are so high. We have already Team Ruto, where we have the yellow team. Under UDA, we have Raila, who has now rebranded. We also have Kalonzo, Gideon, and the likes of Mudavadi and Wetangula with One Kenya Alliance. We have Wairia, Mwangi Wairia. We also have this gospel artist who is the newest in this race, the Bwana Kigame, the gospel artist. Wow. So we need to ask ourselves, do we really need to have so many choices to make when we only need one person to lead this nation? Do we have people's interests at heart of these people, or it's just people who are there to just negotiate and bargain for positions so that they not become irrelevant after the 2022 election? Do we have people that...
Felix, if I may ask you a question before you proceed, so that we can also give Chapesa the chance. You have said that people have already started campaigning, in serious campaigning, and we have over 10 months to go before the general election. And it is not a good thing. It's also my view and everybody's view. We have to agree it is not good to start the campaigns very early, because those campaigns, they happen at the expense of development. What do you think should be done to bar or to stop leaders from campaigning too early before the general election? Because it disrupts the peace, it disrupts the businesses, it disrupts everything. What do you think should be done?
I believe Kenya is an organized state. It's a state that has a constitution that governs this country, and everything is very clear in our constitution. We also have the arms of the government, that is the judiciary, the executive, and these are the bodies and the arms that are supposed to be checking each other. If the executive is overstepping on its mandate as per the constitution, I think the judiciary should now step in to check and to bring in some sanity in this. Remember, we also have some organization, some that are formed through the constitution, like the IEBC. IEBC has its role to play in this, because if the IEBC was strict to ensure that no campaign material is out as early as now, no campaign rallies are going on as early as now. Even the Ministry of Health should come in, step up, because we have the COVID-19 restrictions. We see people's lives being endangered. So I think our systems have something that needs to be done in them.
Yes, Mr. Chapesa, what is your take? What is your contribution on that? That our politicians, they have started campaigns very early. What do you think about that, and what do you think should be done?
It's unfortunate. This has been a culture in Kenya here.
Yes.
Upon elections, politicians start right away to do campaigns, which is very, very unfortunate and a disrespect to the electorate. However, going back to the first question you asked, who stands a better chance to be the president of Kenya 2022?
Yes.
I want to say this, Jeff. I cannot point at a single person, but I can also give factors. Looking at Kenyan political history,
yes,
Kenya is highly politics in Kenya is highly commercialized. One, the person who stands a better chance is somebody with enough resources.
Yes.
Secondly, as you know, the Kenyan population majority are young people, the youth, who contribute to about 75 or 80%. And these are young people who are techno-savvy, who want their solution to be solved pop. Pop. The style of Sonko. When you have a problem, you solve spots on. And these are the majority. Young people who don't need explanations, but they want their problem solved. If my problem is hunger,
yes,
you don't go explaining to me how to solve it, but you just provide, like mandazi. When I'm hungry, I need mandazi, you solve it.
Yes.
You see, this is the kind of politics that have been made to be. So, a person who understands the Kenyan youth,
yes,
stands a better chance. Secondly, also history of that person will also matter in the coming general elections. Now, let me mention a few things on every individual. People who are more visible, this is Raila Odinga and Ruto.
Yes.
Unfortunately, according to me, I don't see any one of them making it to State House, simply on these reasons.
Yes.
Ruto has got so many baggages on his head. One, corruption cases has been mentioned in so many scandals. That becomes one impediment. Secondly, he has been the government for this period of time with Uhuru Kenyatta, and cunningly, he wants to pretend as if he's not part and parcel of these problems. So surely, if you look at this, he may not be a good president for this country, because this simple character tells much about him. He cannot be trusted by power.
Yes.
Okay. historical baggages, scandals, baggage of scandals, makes it very difficult. And also how the state views him. And also international network that he has, which I believe he doesn't have this serious international network. If you look at Raila Odinga, yes, this is a man who has been in politics for so long, and the majority of Kenyans are fatigued about him because he cannot offer current solutions to the current problem. And he has got also historical baggages on him. And, you know, he entered into handshake and ended up loading onto himself the baggages of Jubilee. Now has been turned into Jubilee apologists, with the only benefit is the little money is given and facilitation is given.
Yes,
that's the only thing. Yeah, and you know, it's a selfish way of actually benefiting at the expenses of other Kenyans. Yes, when you look at Mudavadi, yes, Mudavadi could be another good leader, but the problem is he's not active. You see, in a single day, Ruto can make so many movements, can go here, there, but Mudavadi is always making a single. He has limited himself. This is a giant who is playing a squirrel. And again, the state of his mindset is he cannot follow programs. I mean, like young people need someone who follow programs. If you tell him that this is what we need, he goes by it. Not who agrees with you on the table and the following day is doing a different thing. The electorate wants someone whom they can trust. When they say they want this is exactly what you do for them.
Yes.
And this is where Ruto is managing so well. But you have also forgotten one person, Muhisa Kitui. You know, Muhisa Kitui is another serious politician who has entered into the race. This is a guy who is so fresh from international body, enacted as a Secretary General, who has been advising international governments on best practices on trade. And again, this is a person with a history for second liberation of this country. Okay, his mind is very clear on how he wants Kenya to be. He has a very clear mind, a very clear vision, and he's very articulate. This is a guy who is very articulate and is no nonsense when it comes to matters of governance. But the only thing is, he's not active. You see, others are active, moving here and there, forming alliances, but he's so silent. But given time, you never know, given time,
yes,
this is the man to watch. This is the man to watch. Previously, I could think of Musalia, having been the government for so long.
Yes,
he understands the government protocol so well. He's a sober guy, but these lackings make him a lame duck. So, when it comes to Kalonzo,
if I may ask before you proceed, so that I don't forget, you see, even when I was counting the presidential candidates, I forgot about Muhisa Kitui. And you have said the reason for this is because he is not active. And you are saying this is the guy to watch. Yes, he is articulate. He is well conversant with leadership. If he is not active in politics, and you have said there is a guy there who is managing very well, but you don't think he is going to become the president. What miracle will happen so that Muhisa Kitui can become the president? What do you think will happen so that we can have the,
2013, nobody knew that Uhuru Kenyatta could be the president. The most feasible people were Raila Odinga, Musalia Mudavadi, and Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes.
Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto had baggages of ICC, and they were not even active.
Yes.
Almost a few months to elections. In fact, to be precise, it was 3 months to elections. Is when they became so visible. You know, politics, Kenyan politics is first of all made in the boardroom. Before it spills over to the public, it's made in the boardroom. You never know what is cooking underneath. But for sure, I know, don't count Mohisa Kitui out.
Yes.
And I'm also not counting the rest out. There are more surprises that that are coming. You know, when I was in the village sometimes back, Jeff, it was a very, very dry season, and it was like a summer season, and people were really thirsty. The farms were so thirsty for water. But then there is a time I woke up very early in the morning at around 5:30, and I saw a very brown cloud. Then what I did, I decided to we used to plow with ox at home. So I tied ox kwa jembe. Then I went to the farm to dig. People were so surprised to seeing me actually with oxen actually doing what? Plowing. Because they didn't expect me to plow during the dry season. But then I told them before the end of the day, it will rain, because I had seen a very small cloud. During evening, small drizzles began. They continued till they snowball into serious rain that formed floods. There are small indicators that you may despise, but very important. I saw Muhisa getting coronated, and I've seen him launching projects with Kivutha Kibwana, and also moving around with Martha Karua.
He was coronated by who?
By Luya elders.
Not everybody who might be having that this kind of information.
It's in public domain. He was coronated by elders.
Okay.
He was coronated by elders. And those are small indicators of big things to come.
Yes, because you have brought in a factor that maybe many people were not expecting. Let us hear what Honorable Felix Wambua has to say about Muhisa Kitui. What do you think, sir?
You know, as you wake up on new things in the political world, and it's not a surprise to have what my brother Wasike coming to happen. So I won't want to add on much on what he has said. We know Muhisa has been serving in Kibaki's government. He served in Uhuru's government. We never know what the boardrooms has been preparing. We know, as he said, our politics is prepared in the boardrooms. Whatever we see on the podiums, on the churches, on the political meetings is just, let me say, a mirage of the real image of the real politics that we expect in 2022. Remember, we have more than 10 months to elections, and a day in politics is like a year. We saw Uhuru and Ruto coming up in 3 months and winning the 2013 elections. So it's quite early to predict or to rule anyone out of this race. As I said, we also have Kigame, who is a gospel artist. We have Dida. We also have Kivutha Kibwana, who the other day was
Abduba Dida is still contesting.
He hasn't been to the pub. He has not come out to the public, and we hope his dreams are still alive. we saw the other day the KANU meeting at Bomas. We also saw Mukisa Kitui his meeting being attended by a presidential aspirant. At Bomas happened the same. We saw Kalonzo, we saw Mudavadi and Raila being guests in a ceremony that was meant to crown Mr. and Honorable Gideon Moi as the KANU presidential candidate. So our politics is becoming something to research on and to study on every day. You can't wake up and say Raila is the next president or Ruto is the next because of crowds. We have seen Raila pulling crowds since 2002, 2007, 2013, 2017. What happened? His relevance has been kept alive by the handshake. So we got to move slow on when saying such and such a person or candidate is best for this. And as my brother said, we have all these candidates trying to be relevant among youths. We know, as per the statistics and records, we have more than 6 million expected new voters to register with the IBC, an exercise that is kicking off tomorrow. So whoever remains relevant with the first-time voters, with the largest portion of the first-time voters, will be in a better position to claim the state house. So let me not dilute much of what my brother has said. I am in that thinking circle. Thank you.
Yeah, before we go back to Chapesa, I would like to ask you, you mentioned about 2 horse race. You are yet to tell us about the 2 horses. Lyrics.
Yeah, that is it's a riddle that we can get its answer by, let's say, next year, because we have seen from every region, as we said, we cannot rule out ethnicity in our politics. We have seen Ruto is trying to play that ethnicity card and showing that he's not a tribal, when we are very sure that in 2013, when he was to get his list of, when he was to select a good number of cabinet secretaries, he went for his people only from Rift Valley. And today we are seeing him traversing from Uasin Gishu to Bungoma to Kambani to Mount Kenya, trying to play a card that we know he is the master of it. So ethnicity is key into this, and I can see many young and upcoming leaders being duped to this by the slogan Hustler Nation thing, because without ethnicity, Ruto would not be where he is. Without ethnicity, tribalism, that is ethnicity, I mean the tribes that make their kings. In Nyanza we have, in Rift Valley we have Ruto and Moi. In Central we have Uhuru, the president. In Mount Kenya we said we have Uhuru only. In Eastern region we have Ukambani, we have Kalonzo. So these other upcoming leaders like Mutua, Kibwana, they are trying to break that that trend of tribalism, because if Kalonzo can put his votes in one basket, he will be in a better position to negotiate with maybe Ruto from Uasin Gishu or from the Rift. If let's say Kalonzo and the Mount Kenya and Gema leaders can bring their votes together, they can have a better say and a bigger bargaining power on the table when they sit with the people from Western or from Nyanza and Rift Valley. So at the end of the day, all these leaders that you are seeing, they are going to shave off their interest for presidency after their personal interests are met, because we cannot have such. It will not necessarily be personal interest, but their tribal interest, their regional interest, because Mount Kenya has its interest, Mombasa, that is the coast, has its interest, Nyanza has its interest. And once all this is sorted out, and the best person who can meet their interests will be the best person now to be fronted as president, and maybe running mate will be will be spotted from the the second largest basket of votes.
So, Mr. Chapesa, you made a comparison. You made a comparison of what happened to between Ruto and Uhuru, and they formed the government, and you compared that with the possibility of the same happening, so that Muhisa Kitui can become popular. Do you think that comparison is right, based on the fact that though Ruto, people never thought that Uhuru would become the president, Uhuru was followed by the whole Central Province. Ruto was followed by the whole Rift Valley region, at least a good number of people. Muhisa Kitui, we can't tell right now exactly who are the followers of Muhisa Kitui. And also remember this Uhuru Kenyatta, a big name from the father. Kenyatta, just the name Kenyatta in Central is a big name. That's a heavy name. To a greater extent, I think he banked on the fame of the father. So is it right to compare, can we really compare Uhuru, Ruto, and Muhisa Kitui? Whatever, the paradigm.
Look here, Jeff.
Yes.
Yes, Uhuru was a big name.
Mm-hmm.
But Uhuru is not contesting. Is Ruto a big name? We have Raila Odinga, whose father had a big name, and Raila has also become a big name. But has he ever been the president?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tanzania, we had big names like Mwanawasa. He never became the president. A known guy who became the president, Magufuli, was very unknown, but was a performer in those former governments of Benjamin Mkapa and Kikwete, Jakaya Kikwete.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, Kenyan politics is dynamic. It's not static. That the conditions that made Uhuru Ruto to become the president may be the same.
Yes.
Currently, you know, Uhuru Ruto presidency was formed by one factor, sympathy votes, because they were facing ICC.
Yes, and
so
if so that we don't take much time on that, I wanted to ask. You said that very soon, as we proceed, the people are likely to form coalitions, and that's where I wanted us to go. Felix, you tell us. You also tell us the people you think they are likely to join together and form these teams.
So, Jeff.
Yes.
Let me start with the Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is so good at cobbling coalitions.
Yes.
But this time around, I see Raila Odinga supporting being a kingmaker altogether. I'm seeing him being a kingmaker based on these factors. He's now carrying the Jubilee baggage. This has made him unpopular to certain quarters. Secondly, because of distrust between him and Kalonzo Musyoka and Mudavadi, I don't think if there'll be any other serious people who would be willing to work with him or propel him as the president. When it comes to Mudavadi and the Oka Kenya, Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Gideon Moi.
Yes.
In fact, Gideon Moi, it's unlikely that he can get support from his Rift Valley yard, because even getting the Senate seat was a very tall order. He got it by chance, and he has no serious influence in Rift Valley.
Yes.
When it comes to Kalonzo Musyoka is also facing serious challenges in his backyard. We have Charity Ngilu, we have Kibwana, and these are governors. We have Mutua. These are governors who have serious ambitions, and maybe majority of Kambas may be fatigued by Kalonzo Musyoka, who has been there for so long but has not delivered anything. You see, Unlike Mutua has at least delivered, Charles Nigilo had delivered a factory. The same with Kibano have delivered. At least Kamba people can see people who can deliver to them. When it comes to Musalia Mudavadi has not used, he was coronated, but didn't use that opportunity to unite Luyas, to unite people in Western. So he wasted the opportunity until now has not united the people from Western Kenya.
Yes.
And again, they are moving together with the Wetangula, but there are certain indicators that you cannot rule out. Recently I've seen Secretary General Ford Kenya going to Ruto, joining Ruto. I've seen the new kid of Ford Kenya, Kalasinga, going Ruto way. That tells you a lot about Wetangula. Wetangula may be cutting deals with Ruto, mark timing for an opportune moment to cross over to Ruto, leaving Mudavadi in dilemma.
Why do you think so?
Yes, there are indicators. If the person, in Western we have, majority Bukusus and also second Maragolis. These are the sub-clans, sub-tribes that have been influencing politics Western Kenya. But Mudavadi, if you look at the backyard of Mudavadi, even the governor of Mudavadi's county is an ODM governor.
Yes.
Kakamega County neighborhood of Musalia's home, Vihiga home, is ODM.
Yes.
Governor of Busia is an ODM. This tells you about the influence of Mudavadi. Unlike his for the Kenya counterpart, Wetangula, whose governor is for the Kenya, and Trans Nzoia governor is for the Kenya, has got two governors. You see?
Wow.
So, and Wetangula had an influence on Bukusu. Now that is going to Ruto's way, there will be a vacuum. Now there's no one whom Mudavadi will be relying on to push Bukusu to support him.
Mr. Chapesa, you are yet to tell us what are these indicators that shows that Wetangula is going the Ruto way.
The indicators are...
No, we also want to see, we might not be seeing what you are seeing, and other people, the viewers might not be seeing what you are seeing. Help us to see the indicators that
I mentioned
is going to Ruto.
Jeff, I've mentioned.
Yes.
We have Secretary General Chris Wamalwa, who is currently hobnobbing with Ruto.
Okay.
He's hobnobbing with Ruto. He's going into Ruto's meetings. You saw the other time, recently, for the Kenya Member of Parliament, a new kid in the block who was elected recently in a by-election, supported by Mudavadi, Wetangula, Kalonzo Musyoka, is now dilly-dallying with Ruto. If these two people, strong supporters of Wetangula, are going to Ruto's place, hobnobbing with Ruto, moving with Ruto, what does that tell you? That's an indicator.
Okay. Now,
another thing. Wetangula is not, in recent time, is not strongly standing against Ruto. He's not criticizing him. Has gone so silent on Ruto. This tells, and his body language tells a lot, you see?
Yes.
So these are little indicators that tells you that the heart of Wetangula is somewhere else. If it's not actually doing business with Ruto or selling his for the Kenya party to Ruto for his selfish gain, and dump Mudavadi has got an ambition to become the president.
So before you proceed, you said Kalonzo has not performed for the time he has been in government. We have a gentleman here, Felix from Mukambani. He can tell us, maybe he has he has more information on that.
Sure. My comrade Wambua may tell much more than me.
For me, let me tell you, history is something that we, the young generation, tend to shy away from. We can't rely on what is happening today without having deep roots on what happened yesterday. Remember, this devolution devolution is what is making most leaders to be rated as performers or non-performers. During the days that Kalonzo was an MP, during the days that Kalonzo was a Minister of Education, Minister of Foreign Affairs, we didn't have the structures that we have today as per the 2010 Constitution. So it perturbs me when people say that Kalonzo is not a performer. Remember that the region that Kalonzo comes from is a very, very dry region. When you go there, you find these people are enjoying water flowing from January to December. Remember, water is life, and Kalonzo has been able to tap this water from Tana to Mwingi. This is a multi-million project that ended, that was completed and launched before the 2010 Constitution was also launched. I mean, all the achievements all the benefits that we enjoyed during the Nusum Kate government, when we have the best economy for this country, when everyone enjoyed their businesses and had value for their money during Kibaki region. Remember, Kalonzo was a key player in that government. So we can't rate him as an MP, as a governor, but we can rate him as a national leader. So guys, let's not move around with the theories and baseless conversations that are proving and portraying Kalonzo as non-performer. Remember, this is a diplomatic guy who has been quiet, who performs silently. He's not as vibrant as Ruto, and that is how he was created by God. He is not as vibrant as Raila, and that's how he is. But when he came together with Kibaki, we saw how this country moved ahead in many things. Now we are complaining and blaming the current government for doing away with some structures that were led by the Nusum Kate government that Kalonzo was a key player in. So I won't concur with you, my brother Wesike, when we say Kalonzo is not a performer. Remember, he's the one who has groomed. He's the same guy who has groomed Mutua. He's the same guy who has groomed Kibwana. So if it was not for the Wiper Party, these guys would be nowhere to be seen in the limelight of Kenyan politics. So kindly, let's give credit where it deserves.
Yeah. Mr. Chapesa, tell us more about, I know you must have, about the Hustler Nation. What do you think about the Hustler Nation movement and the ideology behind, or whatever, the idea behind the Hustler Nation, and how people are taking the whole thing?
To be very sincere, is a serious narrative he created that has really become the talk of the country.
Mm-hmm.
But what are the values? What values does, there are certain things that as an intellectual you can see through.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Jeff, Ruto blends well with the Mama Bogas and the Boda Bodas because he speaks their language.
Mm-hmm.
But to an intellectual like my brother, my comrade Wambua, can Ruto sit down with him and reason through all this? Mm-hmm. It may not be easy, because Wambua can give him a very hard time because somebody like Honorable Wambua will want to discuss about serious policy issues of which Ruto may not explain to Mr. Wambua. But Ruto can flatter with Mama Bogas and Boda Bodas about bottom up or hustler thing, sing for them such kind of lullabies, and they can buy. But again, what other candidates are failing, you cannot fight Ruto as individual. They should challenge Ruto with better ideologies. Ruto has come up with his hustler and bottom up. They should come up with better ideas that can counter Ruto's narratives.
Yes.
Unfortunately, no one has come up with serious narratives to challenge Ruto. Most of them are talking, they are putting on their lips hustler and bottom up instead of creating their own narrative to counter Ruto's.
Yes.
So, sincerely speaking, hustler and bottom up is really blending well with the little people down there, the mama boggers and the border borders.
I wanted to say something on that.
Yes, my comrade.
Yeah, what our DP has done since 2017 is campaigning.
Yes.
He left his boss, the president, alone and ran to start seeking for votes and for an election that will be held. That was 4 years before we go for the next election. So it is easier for him to be the household name, for Hustler Nation to be among the youths, because that is what has been selling on the radio waves, on the TV stations. It has only been Ruto. Now, my brother, let's give him time and see what will happen between now and December. Now that every other candidate has woken up and they are trying to pose a challenge to him. There is a saying that in my culture, whoever runs alone thinks that he is the fastest. Ruto has been running alone. Now that the other day Raila made a trip to Mount Kenya, we saw a great light being shown to the youths in Mount Kenya. They have started realizing that this gentleman is not the right person. Ruto is going, telling them that you have to support Hustler Nation. Raila is going there for partnership, business partnership, leadership partnership. But this guy just needs followers to be behind him. So whom do you think will win the day before 2022? It's something that we need to give it time. And as you said, we also have Mukisa Kitui somewhere. We don't know what is going to bring forth. Let's also be patient and give them time also to sell their ideas to Kenyans. We cannot overrule them out this early. We cannot say that. Sure, we cannot deny it. Ruto has done a huge damage. For me, I call it a huge damage among the youths. He has brainwashed them, where he has done all what he thinks is good for his political gaining. But I know God loves this nation, as he keeps saying that tunawaachia Mungu. I want to also say that this country belongs to God, and God knows what is in the store for the nation, and it cannot just go to the dogs, as I may allude to some activists who say that the country is being left to dogs. It cannot just go to dogs. This country has technocrats, this country has professionals, this country is not only for, again, Hustler Nation has been misconstrued and misunderstood by so many. The term hustler it has been used by the street kids, by the thugs, not just by people who are working hard for their income, for their money, for their survival, but hustler has been used by. When you go to the street, the term hustler, it has been common among those people that have no future, those people, and he's trying to show that, to bring even some elites down to that level of sniffing glue, to that level of sleeping on the street. We need to wake up as intellectuals and raise up and disorganize this thing called Hustler Nation and form one nation, as Raila is trying to call it, one love, one Kenya.
So our viewers, we have Felix Wambua, that is Felix Wambua, who is vying for the MCA position at Wamonyo Ward. And also we have Peter Wasike Chapesa, who is vying for the Lower Savannah Ward as an MCA. And we are all comrades. So let's proceed with the debate. Mr. Chapesa, tell us, what do you think? What is your view about Gideon Moi? Gideon Moi, I think, was it yesterday, but one was announced as, was it yesterday? He was announced as the flag bearer for KANU. And you know, he has the financial muscle, he has money. So you think, you said that he struggled even to become the senator. But now he is fighting to become the president, and he has all the money. He has the money to do campaign and whatever money can do. What do you think?
Jeff, you know, politics is not all about money.
Yes.
It's all about capturing the hearts of people. Do you inspire hope? Do you create excitement among Kenyans, among the electorate? Yes, Gideon Moi is only being introduced into national politics. It's now being branded for national politics. But as per now, he's still very, very unpopular. The name Moi is a brand, but Gideon Moi is not fitting in well with this brand. He's not coming out boldly and forcefully to assert his authority in the politics of Kenya.
Yes.
But anyway, with time, maybe when he'll be exposed enough, maybe he can become the president in the future. But as for now, you cannot put Gideon Moi on the same platform with Ruto. Ruto atamchafua in terms of articulating issues, in terms of connecting with the people, with the electorate. Charisma, Gideon is lacking. It's seriously lacking.
Now that somebody of the caliber of Gideon Moi, or if the Gideon Moi family cannot be in a position to remove Ruto from the hearts of the people of Rift Valley, knowing that they have been in leadership for a long time, knowing that they have all the money, what do you think will happen? And I also would like my friend Wabua to tell me, what do you think will happen to remove Ruto from people's hearts? Because the young people, the Hustler Nation, the Mama Bogas, you said he is speaking, that was Chepesa. Chepesa said that Ruto is able to speak the language of the Mama Bogas. And he has entered in the hearts of these people. So, Mr. Chepesa, if Ruto cannot be removed by Gideon Moi from Rift Valley,
yes,
who else can remove Ruto from people's hearts?
You know, as my comrade Wambua said,
yes,
Ruto and Raila have been in Kenyan politics for so long, till everybody knows them. Raila has contested 5 times, has been campaigning all over the country 5 times, so at least it's known by people. Ruto has also been campaigning for the period he has been a deputy president, has traversed this country, at least people know him. But as we move forward, people are getting fatigued by these old narratives. But as we move forward, as we move closer to elections, a new energy is coming, new power is coming, new narrative is coming, which will test better than the old narrative that we have been hearing and are fatigued with. You know, I told you that we have this coalition that will come. Don't rule out Mpisa, Ibwana, and Martha Karua.
Yes.
Don't rule them out. This may be the new kid in the block that will come like a typhoon and sweep all these old narratives to the lake of whatever. You see?
Because myself, I'm from Central Kenya, and I can tell you, basing on the history of how the Central Kenya people do things, the possibility of Martha Karua bringing votes from Central to any candidate to win the presidential election it will be a very hard thing, because even for her to capture, even for her to capture the Kirinyaga seat, the governor seat, it will be a tug of war. So if you are talking of a coalition, or the coalition between Martha Karua, Muhisa Kitui, and Kibutha Kibwana, I don't know where that coalition would really go. That is my perception on that. And
Jeff is
if you are talking of a serious coalition of like, because politics of Kenya, you can't just wake up one day and things just change. Even the people who just make coalition and things change are people who are already known and they have the ground. Kivutha Kibwana, you cannot compare him with Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo is still in the hearts of Ukambani people to a greater extent. You cannot even compare. That is just my thinking. Maybe my friend Wabua will tell us. You cannot compare Kivutha Kibwana with Alfred Mutua. Mutua has tried to do campaign. He is more vibrant. And you know, we say politics is a game of numbers. What will happen to that coalition for these people now to enter into the hearts of people and poor masses?
Jeff, before my comrade Wabua comes,
yes,
let me give you these case situations. I gave you an example of Tanzania.
Yes.
In Tanzania, we had very powerful people like Mwanawasa, who are a household name. Very powerful people. Yes,
Lawasa.
Levy. Yes.
Correct.
Mwanawasa. You are right, my comrade. But Magufuli came and swept him off the feet. In USA, in America, Trump was not even a household name. We had very powerful people like Clinton. But you know what? Trump came and swept them off their feet. Okay? So you are talking of Kivutha Kibwana. Uhuru Kenyatta, when Uhuru Kenyatta came, he found when Raila Odinga was a household name in Kenyan politics. Kalonzo Musyoka was there as a household person in Kenyan politics. Mudavadi was there. But what did Uhuru do? He swept them off their feet and became the president. You get the point?
Yes.
Now, coming to Martha Karua, let me tell you, it's not upon Martha Karua to decide by herself. People will decide by themselves who they will front.
Yes.
Now, recently you saw she was made a spokesperson for Mount Kenya. Do you think it's by chance? Do you think it's by chance for her to become the spokesperson? It's not by chance. Suppose Mount Kenya leadership decides to front her and market her to the hearts of Mount Kenya people. Do you think the people will not rally behind her?
But also remember, even Speaker Muturi was also made the spokesperson for Mount Kenya.
But since then he went silent. Since then he has gone silent. Are you seeing him feasible?
So this tells me to be made a spokesperson is not tantamount to influence.
Uhuru Kenyatta was made a spokesperson, and he was made a spokesperson, and the person who proposed him was Michuki. When he was made a spokesperson, what happened later on? He became the president.
Uhuru Kenyatta was already popular. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta had contested against Kibaki. At least he
but Martha Karua also contested.
What about the popularity? How many votes? It's all about the popularity of a person, of an individual.
My brother Jeff, when Uhuru Kenyatta was contesting against Martha Karua, against Kibaki,
yes,
he was not popular. It is Kibaki was popular. So this time, Uhuru was more popular, and that's why he was elected. But now there's no any other person who is more popular in central Kenya. Yeah, there's no any other person who is more popular. Uhuru is now going. He's not contesting for presidency.
Yes.
Who was the spokesperson for the central Kenya?
Mm-hmm.
And now you see central Kenya are molding a person. They're building a person whom they want to present as a spokesperson. So don't rule her out. Don't rule her out.
So can we hear Honorable Felix tell us about Kibudha Kibwana coalition as compared to Alfred Mutua and Kalonzo Musyoka? And our viewers, feel free to join the debate. Come and defend your candidate. Come and tell us what you think about the debate of today. Put down your comment. We are waiting to see the comments, the question you might be having. I want you to ask these people here all the questions you are having, any kind of political question that you may be having. The link is there if you want to join the debate, but we are almost ending the debate for today so that we can continue next time, but we still have some few minutes to make to conclude. So Felix.
Thank you. Let me begin from the point of Gideon Moi.
Yes.
Gideon cannot really marshal the support that Ruto has in Uasin Gishu. That is it's naked truth. It's even a small kid can understand that. But fronting Gideon Moi means that, as we know, politics is a game of numbers. There is that fraction which will go with Moi. And when we do that, as I said, at the end of the day, we shall have a race of two horses, because I believe and strongly understand that we are going to have formation of coalitions. Gideon Moi has been talking of Raila, has been inviting Raila to the Oka. We have also seen now Ruto opening doors for talks with other small parties. The other day we saw Ruto calling for other small parties to come in and negotiate with him. Nothing much that they will be talking about rather than forming coalitions. That's why we see 2022 as a two-race horse, as a race for two horses. So when we come to Kibwana, we come to Martha Karua, we go to even Mukisa Kitui, there is what we call ethnicity polarization, the divide and rule husband that took center stage of the politics of during colonial times. Kambas were divided. There are those who believed in prophets. There are those who believed in council of elders. There are those who believed in the new religion that was brought forth by the white man. So the same thing is happening now. If Ruto is trying to raise his men to represent him in the Kamba region, he's raising some people to represent him in Mount Kenya. That is trying to weaken the strong candidates of those regions. And we know also his foes are doing the same. That's why we saw Gideon Moi, and I'm telling you, Gideon Moi may remain candidate up to the ballot. And after ballot, KANU will form a pact, an agreement, an MOU with the government of that day that shall come into place. We know Gideon Moi will not win the presidency, but he will be leading with the government that shall win that time. So when we see Kibudha is just trying to reduce a fraction of votes to weaken the powers that Kalonzo has. And also, he also trying to show that he's strong and needs to be called to the negotiation table. And that is not something that it's hard. Before then, we said many things will happen. So, as my brother is saying that Ruto has spoken the language of Mama Mboga, the language of Borderman, and a huge number is following him. But now when things are being opened up, we see how his number is diminishing. So let's not leave it to him alone. And again, we cannot also say that Raila is going to be a presidential candidate when he teams up with Oka. We know there is the complain that he has been dishonoring. He has not been honoring the agreements and the MOUs with his team. In 2013, there was CORD. In 2017, they had NASA. So that mistrust and failure to agree may also bring another problem. That is something that Raila needs to check on. Remember,
do you see the possibility of Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, okay, the NASA coalition? Do you see what is the probability that they will be in a position to work themselves out and form another coalition?
It was in public realm the other day when Kalonzo saw that he's not going to deputize any person again. He's going to the ballot. It was also in public realm when Mudavadi declared that he's going to the ballot. Now we saw Moi going to the ballot. It's a huge puzzle to voters and to the CORD and NASA family. You know, we have been, as supporters of Kalonzo, supporters of Raila, supporters of Mudavadi, we have been working as a family, as a team towards elections. Every time we have elections in 2013, in 2017, we have been working together. So this time around, we are disintegrated. We no longer know which route to follow. That's now why Ruto is reaping from the people that are falling off from the coalition, from the NASA coalition. So if things go by as they are today, it will be a straight win for Ruto. I'm not apologetic to say that, though I'm not for his presidency. Let me be open and sincere. But I admire his energy, I admire his wisdom, I admire the way he's trying to challenge the opponents. So let's open up as early as now, because as early as now, people know that Ruto is going to be the presidential candidate for UDA. So far, we know there is Oka, and in Oka, the three principals have all decided and have all gone to the public saying that they are going to the ballot. They don't know who is going to be the flag bearer. So this state of suspense, this state of keeping people with unanswered questions is what now is bringing more confusion among their followers. At least now Baba is out. And at least Mukiza is also out. So let's also see who next is going to be out, so that we may also make informed decisions.
Mr. Chapesa, you have heard the contribution of our comrade here. Do you think NASA coalition is totally dead, or there is a possibility of resurrection?
NASA was disbanded recently. All NASA is now a dead horse. Raila left NASA.
Even if they can come up with another name, I'm talking of the same people. Do you believe the same people can team up again?
You know, Kenyan politics is very funny. You cannot rule out that.
Yes.
You cannot rule out that. Politics is a game of possibilities.
Yes.
It may happen. It may not happen. Depending on how they'll have to agree. Depending on how their interests will be at stake.
Yes.
But as for now, it's unlikely that it will be.
What about Baba and Ruto? Do you see Ruto and Baba working together and coming up with one formidable force?
You know, Jeff, as I've said earlier, politics is a game of possibilities.
Yes.
You cannot rule that out. But also depends with the interests that are at stake.
Yes.
It is possible they may join forces if they feel a betrayal, if they feel a betrayal. But still, I believe altogether, Baba is going to be a kingmaker, a serious one. A serious kingmaker. If you see that he cannot make it, or he has no serious energy to make it, he's going to be a serious kingmaker. Given his state of health now, given his, people who have walked out on him, the likes of Kalonzo and Mudavadi, and unlikely support from Central Kenya, it's not guaranteed that they'll support him, though they're meeting him, but that does not guarantee that they'll support him. All these factors will contribute to Raila's candidature or formation of a very strong political party which Raila will be in, particularly the former NASA group.
Wow.
But as I've said earlier, Kalonzo walked out on Raila, Mudavadi walked out on Raila, and if there is any one person Raila can make a king, don't look further. Muhisa Kitui, Kivuda Kibwana, and Martha Karua. That's the group that Raila may prop up, because these are the people who worked with him in the second liberation fighting Kanu regime. You see, at least he knows them. He knows their capacity. So that's the group I believe Raila can support or can be as their kingmaker. But if you talk of Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka, unless they make Raila the king, but
Yes.
Raila may not make them the king.
So, comrades, I think we shall begin from there next time. We can end the debate for today. Next time we shall try to start on time so that we can have enough time to engage. But I would like us to give our final remarks. We close because we have another session which is coming.
Okay.
I can see they are asking what is happening. So, Felix, you can give us your final remarks. Remind people that you are contesting for the MCA.
Yeah, once again, I'm Felix Wambua from Wamuyu, Yazui Ward in Machakos County. It was a wonderful session with our host, Jeff Mburu. And thank you, our audience out there all over the world, wherever you are watching from. I say hello, I send my regards to you. And we know we have the diaspora team, and the diaspora team contributes a lot to not only the growth of our economy, but to the well-being of our people deep down there in the villages. So we call upon you to come and support us to ensure that we can be part and parcel of the next government that is going to be put in place after the 2022 election. And remember, we are working into contact with the disabled groups there back in our villages, with the widows, with the orphans. So it will be an opportunity if, Mr. Jeff, you can be a link between us and the people out there in the diaspora to ensure that that support can reach the grassroots. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad to have been here, and I've given all to the people because I wanted to be honest to my audience. And next time we shall also be ready to be your guests. Asante.
Wow, thank you so much, Felix. We value your contribution. Thank you so much for being part of today's debate. And Mr. Peter Wasike Chapesa, I like your last name, Chapesa. Whenever I mention that, I feel like I'm talking about money. And you know, we, the Kikuyus, had money.
Everybody loves money, Jeff. Everybody loves money.
Your final contribution, final remarks?
Yes. First of all, I wish to express my appreciation to you, Jeff, for giving me this great opportunity and the platform Mwagisho TV to address my audience. I want to thank the people of Lower Savannah for making me who I am.
Yes.
The people who have been working with me, encouraging me and supporting me, I say thank you so much. And one thing I want to insist on, the registration of voters is beginning tomorrow. Voter registration is beginning tomorrow. Please come out in large numbers and register as voters. You cannot vote for me if you not register as a voter. Come out, my brothers and sisters, in large numbers and register as voters. in me trust to have a very valiant, a very bold, and a brave leader who will bargain for your interest, who will fight for your interest, who will serve your interest, and make sure that your welfare is well catered for, is well considered as you live and serving this great country of Kenya. To all my audience who watch this show, I say thank you so much and keep watching Mugisio TV. Thank you, our host, Jeff. God bless you. And my comrade, Wambua, thank you for contributing to this great platform. Have a very good night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and God bless you. And next time we shall still invite you so that we can continue with the debate. I wish you well as you contest in those positions. May God grant you favor on the ground. So next we shall be having another team coming. We shall be having Bible study. If you are okay, you can still join us to continue with the Bible study. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you so much.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair, and you know that she's a bad chick. All the boys stare, can't help it, it's a